Assalamu alaikum. Omar,
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
what's happening, man?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah,
We're back again for another episode.
alhamdulillah. Allah is kind, man. Allah
Alhamdulillah,
is kind.
alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So yeah, let's get started, inshallah. What we were discussing last time, yeah, was can you retire on 1 million? So inshallah, let's touch down on this, dive a bit more into it, and see what, some of the practical ways one can retire on 1 million. Because 1 million, to be honest with you, to some it's a lot of money, to some it's not a lot of money.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, 1 million is a lot of money because the average person don't have 1 million. You know what I mean? So it is a lot of money. And sometimes when you have millions, you tend to belittle this sort of amount.
yeah,
And you don't
true.
see it as a lot of money. But yeah, and you can easily be misled in thinking that you can't retire on 1 million. I guess someone who haven't actually made a million can easily think on how they can retire on 1 million in comparison to the person that's made millions. That person will be harder for them to think of how they can retire on 1 million, versus
Right.
someone who hasn't made a million yet. So inshallah, without further ado, let's just get into it and touch down on this and give some practical ways on what we think and from my experience and how you can return 1 million, inshallah. So yeah, to start
Bismillah.
with you, anyway, Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. We forgot.
It always brings barakah. Alhamdulillah.
Sahih, sahih, sahih. That's right.
We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with the utmost ikhlas as well as we
Ameen,
mention
ameen,
this to
ameen,
everybody, because
ameen.
this is a topic I think people need. You know what I mean? So,
Yes.
sorry, cut you off. What were you saying, Brain?
Yes, obviously to start with you, Omar. I mean, yeah, can you return 1 million? First of all, do you think it's possible that a person can return 1 million?
I definitely think it's possible with the right strategy. Definitely think it's possible, and it reminds me of a situation I just heard about where a person was working at his job for about 20 years, and the job suddenly informed people that I think people had put money inside of a pension. So this workplace informed people that people that had been with them 20 plus years, something similar to that, that they will be getting a certain amount of money. They will be getting a large payout.
Okay.
So subhanAllah, one particular person I heard about ended up getting about 400,000 in a payout. And he
Oh,
came to one of my friends asking him for advice regarding what he should do.
with that
Because let's
400,
be
with
honest,
that 400K.
with that 400K, because most people have no idea what to do with money when they get it. They have no
Yeah, yeah,
idea how
yeah,
to
yeah,
utilize it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? Some people do, some people don't have that knowledge regarding what to do with a large sum of money when it's acquired. So he asked my friend, what should he do, to give him some ideas, etc. So I think while we're here on this call, it will be beneficial for me to ask you that question. For example, what would you in particular do with the situation if you were given 400K, for example, or even a million? Because 400K for a person that's skilled, for a person that knows how to do something with money, um, 400K is not that far from a million.
Oh
As a
yeah.
person that can utilize 400K the same way he would, almost the way he would utilize a million.
Oh yes.
So express, inshallah, what would you do?
I mean,
What would you do,
yeah, I mean, in
right?
such a
Or for
situation with
what
that
would you
person
do, for example?
I mean, in such a situation with that 400K, from my experience in general, there's two type of people. There's those that know how to really understands money basically. They understand money very well and they know how to play with money. When I say play, I don't mean to misuse or anything. No, they know how to
You know how to utilize
strategically utilize money to grow, to make more money. And that's most of the time to get to that level where you're really good at using money to grow or to make more money. It comes with experience. Often it comes with experience
it.
and making mistakes and whatnot. You know what I mean? You would have lost money to learn these things. You know what I mean? Or somebody, maybe you would have learned it from somebody. Put it as that. So this was, for example, guys that works as investment banker, on all these big firms, right? They get to see firsthand how how these things are done inside. Do you get what I'm saying? How money is really made from the inside.
Stacking up money as
This
well.
is
They
this
see
is
the
what it is,
accounts.
right? They get to see firsthand and learn, right, from how it's being done from the inside versus and obviously these things are it's not something that's accessible to most people. It's not. Do you get what I'm saying? So for someone that don't really know how to use money, for example, in the situation you just mentioned, obviously that guy, he's an average worker who goes to work 9 to 5 and whatnot. He's not even expecting this kind of amount, or he probably hasn't even earned this kind of amount in one go. Yes, throughout his life, if you combine all the money he's earned together, he's earned more than that probably. But in a lump sum, no, he hasn't, and that's a big figure for him. So
It's a big figure. It's
to
a
know
huge
what to
figure for
use
him.
it for, most people will blow that money in no time because
Most people do it.
their appetite will change, their spending appetite will change, and they will start buying like something worth 20 grand, 50 grand, thinking they got more money and by the time they realize they don't have nothing left. So come back to your
To your
question.
point, I just to your point, I just found out about a person that you know I grew up with. He's a little bit older than me. He just passed away a few years ago, but I heard about a situation where he had, just like you mentioned, he had got a lawsuit for $1 million, and he blew it
It blew it just like that.
because, especially people in the hood, they're not used to having that type of money, man.
Nah.
So when they get it, it's gone.
No, that's
2, 3 months, year maximum, it's gone.
well, that's money. See, someone losing winning a lottery. Well, first of all, obviously that's haram, but from the standpoint of money itself, that person they haven't planned for the money.
That's
Money in
right.
general, it doesn't matter what the amount is. If you don't make plans in advance on how you're gonna use it when you get it, right, it'll go in no time. So coming back to the topic, can you return, 1 million? And obviously to answer your question, in such a situation of that the scenario you gave of the story of the guy with the 400k, what would I do? Obviously myself, generally, obviously, as you know, obviously based on both you yourself and myself, our experience in dealing with money over the years, 400k, what I would do, I will invest it, right? I will invest it. That's the
Take that
first thing I would do.
entire 400K and invest it. What would you
I
do?
Okay, the
What would you
entire
first do?
400k, yes and no. So let's flip it to a million, right? Let's
Flip it
flip
to
it
a
to
million
yeah.
because it's
Let's flip
close. Yeah, close
let's
enough.
flip it to a million. So for example, for 1 million, for example, what would I do for 1 million? Can I return 1 million? Yes. The answer is yes, I can return 1 million. It depends on what you need, so what your yearly expenditures is, or
Right,
what's a comfortable amount for you to spend on a yearly basis. So for example, if a person's expenditure is like 200k, if a person can live on 200k a year, then it's possible for the person to retire on 1
right.
million. And how? For example, I will invest.
Living on 200K a year, that's a lot of money to live off every year.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Especially if you're talking about places where a person can go. Let's say, for example, you got to factor in places in the world that a person can actually go. I think a lot of times people keep their minds stuck. Oh, I have to live in the UK or I have to live in America. Like you're talking about, the Earth is like one village now. You got places like Thailand. Um, for the Muslims, you got places like Indonesia. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
There's places, Malaysia, there's places you can live, and your expenses are very low. Gambia, your expenses can be very low. Even Medina, right now, alhamdulillah.
yeah.
Can you imagine 50,000 a year? You can live a pretty good lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
So
if that person they're trying to obviously live by just if it depends. See, if they have a very a smaller budget, yearly budget to spend, to survive on,